All right, good Wednesday morning. Welcome to the month of October. I'm meteorologist Byron Douglas, and we'll have Mitch Carter along in a moment. And this is our morning streaming, which we start each weekday here at 8:30. So thanks for tuning in. We'll take a look at our rain and storm chances for the Fall Festival next week. The best chance for rain will arrive on Tuesday night, and then into Wednesday, a little early as of yet. Let's take a look at our opportunities for precipitation. We'll have scant chances tomorrow, mainly during the afternoon along the Ohio River into western Kentucky. By the way, I went above up to a 60% chance of rain next Tuesday, and I'll give you some of my thinking behind that in a moment. We'll look at some of the long-range guidance. We're not looking at any severe weather, although it's early, and we do have a front that's going to cycle on through. In the short term, the pollen counts are down from the previous weeks. That rain at the end of September did help overall. I'm going to go ahead and take this full and say good morning to a few folks, but we're kind of in that medium to high category. But as I mentioned, they're down quite a bit from last week. Of course, Rag Week is running high. And appreciate folks tuning in here bright and early. Good morning to Suzanne and Cheyenne and Marie. Good morning to you guys. And on Doppler radar, there's nothing here on the board. Here's a wide view of the hurricanes. You can see that there's 1 and 2 there overall. We've highlighted this is going to be working out towards just to the west there, Bermuda. They're going to be steering away from the U.S. It did knock down some homes in the Outer Banks there of North Carolina on the beach there, but not responsible for any injuries or anything like that. So Melda, it's at winds at 90. Humberto, winds there at 80, both Cat 1 storms. And you see the red there, that's about 600 miles off the coast of North Carolina. That's Bermuda, so they have hurricane warnings posted. So again, some of the areas up there in the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, had drought-like conditions, so they could use some precipitation. All right, let's take a look. We're going to be a full 10 degrees above average, 87. If we hit 87, that will be 10 above the average. 94 in 2019. Was that a hot fall festival? No, it was not. Because on the 1st and 2nd, we had a high of 94. On the 2nd day of October, a high of 96. But the Fall Festival opened that year with high temps in the lower 70s, and one day that week had a high of 57. So overall, temps were below normal, even though we had a sweltering start. And then 34 in 1963. What's interesting about that? On the 11th day of October 1963, we had a record high of 90. I believe it's 90, but we'll have Arden Gregory's going to have more coming up at 14 News at 11, and then again at noon. So temps now have recovered into the 60s overall, mainly clear skies. We'll take a look at the cloud guidance. We've got some interesting cloud layers with winds out of the east. We're going to have mainly some cirrus clouds, which we see out there right now between about 25 and 30,000 feet. So overall, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds during that stretch. Here are the trends, the 6 and 10, and then I'll show you the 14-day outlooks that come from the Climate Prediction Center. We're going to be guiding above normal. In fact, that will be the theme. That takes us through Saturday, October 11th. By the way, that's the day of the Fall Festival Parade. We're looking forward to that. We'll have the 14 first alert interceptor out, and then through the 15th, solidly above average. Most of the lower 48, that's the trend. And I believe I have the precipitation. October, typically late September, October, November, generally our driest stretches of the year. We'll be guiding below average precipitation-wise. And as we graph our temps, high temps generally will be in the mid to upper 80s as we go to the afternoon. We've had some questions. What about the heat index? It's pretty much going to match the temperature during that time frame. As we take a look at the mowing forecast, it looks like this, or for the corn and soybean harvest, you're pretty good to go. Of course, a little morning will be cooler than the afternoon. All right, let's take a look at the latest guidance. I'm using the in-house model here. Winds are out of the east, but the high-level cirrus clouds are streaming in from the west. So they'll thicken up, maybe an hour or two where we have more clouds covering, more clouds than sun. And then Thursday, kind of partly to mostly sunny. A few sprinkles and light showers peppering the radar for tomorrow afternoon. Nothing significant. So if you have a track, whatever your cross-country match tomorrow, whatever you're doing outdoors, you should be good to go. And for the weekend, Cincinnati and Cleveland in the playoffs. Are you heading there and then back through St. Louis, Chicago? You're in pretty good shape. This is Monday at the Fall Festival. Monday evening, there's a chance for a few sprinkles, areas of light showers. And then on Tuesday, of up the pops, probability of precipitation Tuesday as we go through the day. I'm using the longer range model, the GFS, but I'm using the European model here, showing some rain around. And then we have a front that's going to cycle through as we go into Wednesday. So Wednesday, kind of the breezy day at the Fall Festival based on what I'm looking at today. And do expect some changes along the way. So that takes us through Wednesday night. So I'll have more on that in a moment. Now, as I take the 7-day full, we're looking at 87 for this afternoon. And I'll go ahead and do that now. And there's that 60% chance of rain. And perhaps I haven't cut temps enough by next Tuesday at 81. So the warmest day of the Fall Festival, based on what I'm looking at, would be Monday. So if you like it to be a little bit cooler, you'll have opportunities. Hey, 14 reporter Leslie Chapman's in the house, the Arizona State grad. Good morning to you. Suzanne, good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. Mitch Carter's in the house. Give me a high rap. Good morning, Mitch. How are you? I'm just teasing Mitch a little bit. He's spinning plates this morning. He'll have more in a moment. Enjoy your start to October.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Well, good morning and thanks for joining us here for the news portion of the 8:30 stream show. I'm Mitch Carter. Going to kick things off here. You just heard from Byron Douglas. A couple of headlines there. We'll go to news stuff now. An update here in traffic alerts for the week of the Fall Festival. Evansville water crews say there's only going to be one area with road work during that busy week on West Franklin Street. Officials say drivers will want to be careful there on St. Joe near the Lloyd. Those current lane restrictions there will still be in place. Here's a look now at that area highlighted in red on this map here. Those current lane restrictions, like I said, will still be in place. Trucks needing to go south on St. Joe should go ahead and use Wabash Avenue to Ohio Street to get back to St. Joe and Ray Becker Parkway. And in some good news here, officials say Indiana, Lemke, and 9th through 12th streets, including Wabash, will all be open to traffic. Officials say crews will get back to work on October 13th with some of those road restrictions back in place. Of course, we had the Nut Clubbers on this morning during the Sunrise show here to talk about the Half Pot opening up today. Of course, online ticket sales for the first time today. I'm sure we'll have more on that here as the day goes on. Right now, though, a new gym open now on the west side of Evansville. I'm going to pull up some video for you here talking about Planet Fitness West, located there on Rosenberger Avenue, just off the Lloyd Expressway. It's over there in the old Office Depot location. Officials say it's open and staffed 24/7. It's the third Planet Fitness location here in Evansville, joining the one on First Avenue and South Green River Road. And in some more local news here, kind of a fun one, looking ahead to early next year. Check this out. A whole new world set to take over the Ford Center. Disney on Ice returns to downtown Evansville on January 29th, and it'll then run through February 1st. The new show is called Disney on Ice Presents Jump In. Ford Center officials say the new show will feature over 50 different characters, favorite Disney songs, figure skating, and of course, aerial acrobatics. Pre-sale tickets are on sale now, with general public tickets going on sale on October 7th. And meanwhile here, one more thing for you here, kind of a fun one we had this morning as well. The LST is back. We had that video here on our sky camera here this morning. The historic World War II ship's, of course, been on its month-long fall cruise. Over the past month here, we've shown you video of people out there enjoying it, right, in Iowa, Western Illinois, and Missouri. officials say, they actually, not officials say, I saw it. It showed back up at the end of sunrise right before 7 a.m. Here's a video for you we got from our Sky Vision cameras there. You can see it's making its way back in. They stopped in Muscatine as well as Alton and I believe Cape Girardeau. So they've been all over the place there. Of course, that fall tour there, so big and so important for their fundraising there with the LST. Officials say, though, now that it is back in port, it'll be back open for tours by Friday. So, like I said, exciting news there. Our World War II ship is back here at home. Right now, it is 8:41 here. Casey's off again today, but she's back tomorrow. So if you're getting sick of just me too. Don't worry, it's ending soon. Of course, right now, like I said, 8:41 coming up on 8:42. It is the 1st of October here. Kind of sticking with summer-like temperatures out there, as Byron just said. But looking ahead now to the Fall Festival, just a couple of weeks away. As I mentioned, Half Pot opens up this morning, and looking ahead to the Kids' Day there on Sunday before the big thing kicks off on Monday. For right now, though, thanks for joining us here. For those who are in right now, we appreciate you. Please enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, the 1st of the month, and we'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow.